are. We're 7 minutes late. This is actually early.
A little early.
I'm surprised.
Traffic, but I love you.
Ahora de Cuba a la Bella, del Palacio de los Jugos.
Los chicharrones.
Los vecinos aquí se enteran de todo.
Mi vecina era CDR en Cuba.
Y en verdad no hay nothing that you can do. Chacleteras sin llames con corbata.
Aquí yo vendo hot dog, pero en Cuba yo era médico.
Le saco el dedo y digo Q.
Sweet home Hialeah. Solo 30 minutos de Le Fallo.
Oh,
Sweet home Hialeah. I hate your traffic, but I love you.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to a new episode of East 10th Street Boys. I'm one of your hosts, Bobby El Gringo, and that's the other host, Alex the Boy. What's up, my brother?
What's up, my man? You have no idea how much I look forward to the show just for the introduction alone. Like, I'm literally singing in the background the whole time.
Love the damn
I'm
song,
happy.
dude.
I'm happy.
I'm happy. Hey,
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm all right. Here, different setting. I'm here down in Florida, Atlantic, Florida, beautiful beachside. I'm in my grandparents' beautiful house here, sitting on their back patio. Got their island bar, just chilling out. You know me, I just a Coke, kind of vodka, nothing like that. But no, man, I'm here, visiting the grandparents, and got to see the family yesterday. All the except for Tab and Kay, I got to see Nick and Harrison and Alex and my cousins, and so that was pretty cool. Miss the kids, miss my wife. That's what happens when I'm here. But it's all good, brother. I'm here sitting with you right now, ready to talk sports, life, and everything else.
And everything. Are your brothers still up there or no?
No.
They left
the day of. Yeah. Nick went back to the ship. Yeah. Nick went back to the ship. Harrison drove back down to Miami with my mother yesterday, and Alexandra went down with her daughter yesterday as well. Later in the afternoon. So I'm just here chilling out, hanging out with my grandparents, which is like old times. I feel like a kid again. This is where I used to chill during the summers. And I spent a couple years here before I went to college. So it's kind of like old times, I'm in my old back bedroom there, just chilling out.
Just hanging out. I'm telling you, bro. That house is amazing, man. It's the pool.
Oh, yeah. A lot of great memories here. Yeah, a lot of great memories, stuff like that, dude. It's a blast here.
A lot of wrestling was done in that pool.
Yeah, wrestling there. My uncle was trying to get us to do some backyard wrestling yesterday. He was like, for old time's sake, guys, go back there and kick each other's ass. There used to be a trampoline back there. I did get jumped a couple times from my brothers and my cousin Dennis, and it was so funny. I tried to talk to Harrison and Dennis at one point, and they were kind of like busy in conversation, so they kind of blew me off. So I was like, oh, whatever. So me and Alexandra left to the store, and I said, guarantee you, as soon as I leave, they're gonna be looking for me, and they're gonna start getting mad at me because I left. Lo and behold, I walk through the door and they're like, yo, where the hell were you? And I'm like, what? I was like, and also they tried to jump me. They tried to jump me in the back bedroom. They were beating, they're trying, take a piss.
Like always. Yeah, of course.
And of course, Dennis is taller than both of us now, and he's a firefighter, so he's a little stronger.
So he's solid.
Harrison's MMA, boxing, wrestling now, and he's training as professional wrestler. So they're both trying to wrestle me out. And I was holding my own. Dennis let go of my hand though at one point, and that was the end. He let go of my arm, and that's why I smacked the shit out of Harrison. And Harrison was like more pissed off that Dennis let go. He's like, "Why'd you let go?"
Don't let go of the rope, man. Don't let go of the rope.
But other than that, it's good to be here. It's great to see my grandparents. My grandfather and my grandmother. I love them to death. So I'm just happy to be here. But brother,
enjoy.
Rambling on here, but first off, before we get into Dolphins, Heat, sports, Marlins, I want to talk about Reese Angel Reese, and we'll talk about all that. And then we're going to talk about Walt Disney. I mean, Vince McMahon later on today. What's up, Cap? Oh, shit. Was that really that good? There you go. But before that, how are you doing? How's the family? How's everything down there in Doral? Oh, you didn't hear that?
I didn't hear shit, man.
The wife, the kids, the family, Doral. How's it?
Everything's good, bro. Everything's good. We just had a volleyball game today. I'm one of the assistant coaches there, so we got back super late from Southridge. But everybody's healthy. Everybody's good. Not a long weekend, but a tiring weekend. We did some bowling, fixed some things around the house. You know how it is. We got family time. You always got to try to catch up. And kids go to sleep early because over here is 9, but my son goes to school like at 7:30. So they're already in bed. I'm the one up, keeping everybody up.
Yeah, there you go. I know it. Cap, technically yes and no. I am back home, but not at home in Miami. I'm at my grandparents' house in Indiana, Florida, which is about 3 hours north.
Bobby has many homes.
I have many homes, so this was a home at one point for me, and so technically yes and no. Like Vince McMahon answered earlier, will he be a part of the creative process? Yes and no.
Now, can you see yourself, Bobby, retiring in Melbourne? Because it looks like a retirement town.
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. If I could probably live here now. If I could find a property that I could afford in beachside here, I would do it. I would move back to Florida in an instant, dude. I love Indiana. It's comfortable. I like quiet. That's why my favorite part of Florida, my favorite vacation spot is St. Augustine. You know that. We've been there a few times together.
Yeah.
It's my favorite spot, dude. You got everything. You got history. You got chilled out locations. You have freaking ghosts. It's the coolest. I love St. Augustine. But here, I just love this, dude. I love the ocean smell. I love the breeze. If you guys, Cap, if you've never been to Melbourne or any Atlantic, dude, there's hotels all up on the beach. It's probably cheaper than going to any of these more expensive locations, but it's beautiful here. It's perfect.
And for those that don't know, St. Augustine is the first city in the United States.
That's correct. It's the oldest city in the United States.
Yes,
so let's see. Anthony, what's up, my man? Anthony Manzano in the house. Everybody, again, you're watching East 10th Street Boys on the Finstock Sports Network, straight out of Hialeah. Like and subscribe, share. We appreciate you, whether you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook. See, there you go, Cap New. So Anthony says, Bobby and Alex, what are your thoughts on it? We're going to talk about that, Anthony.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later on. We are, brother. So it's on the docket. We got it. But before that, what's up, John? Good to see you, brother. Before that, let's talk Miami Dolphins. And what do I want to talk about? Well, there's plenty to talk about with the Dolphins. But an interesting rumor, we like to touch on those things, is Dalvin Cook. The report was that the Dolphins have inquired with the Minnesota Vikings on Dalvin Cook. According to one of the best out there in regards of Dolphins news and inside news and all this crap, is Barry Jackson. He reported this. And then, of course, the Dolphins inquired with him, and Dalvin Cook himself would like to play for the Dolphins. So, Alex, before I give my 2 cents, which I'm sure most people know already.
What's up, Steve?
Your thoughts, Steve Malloy in the house. What are your thoughts on, would you like the Dolphins to possibly make a move for Dalvin Cook, or would you prefer them to go through the draft route? Or are they okay with what they have on the roster right now?
Oh, man. Honestly, it's a little bit of all three. We are okay. I mean, we talked about this before.
That's fair.
We are okay with what we have. Our running back is not a necessity at this point, in my opinion. It's a luxury, but it's a luxury that I would love to have. And if out of the two main running backs that come to mind of any possible acquisition was, first of all, who you mentioned from the beginning was Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook. Those are the two runners that you feel can take this offense even to the next level just exploit it. But honestly, I would not be surprised if they do revisit this during the draft. I would not be surprised if they do, just as I wouldn't be surprised as if Greer drafts a running back higher than expected. Maybe even in the second round. Maybe even. I would not be surprised at any of scenarios.
Absolutely. You know what? And it's fair. It sounds like a political answer, right? We give all three.
True.
But it's absolutely true. The Dolphins have, again, I talked about this earlier on Fitz Talk today, at 12 Eastern today, that Miami has set themselves up throughout the roster to be completely flexible with the decisions moving forward. Bobby, you in a fancy Katina? No, again, I'm at my grandparents' house here at Beachside. This is their back.
It does.
I love it. Dude, I asked my grandmother, which I know she wasn't going to remember because she got this years ago. But I would love something like this at my house back home. This is the coolest damn thing. I would have, all these, you got these cups up here. You got the gator, you got some parrots up there. They really set this all up really damn cool.
It's amazing, man.
And
it's amazing.
I wish, I don't want to mess this up, but if you guys.
Go ahead, bro. Take a tour. Give us a tour.
I don't want to do too much, but you see those seahorses back there? Those seahorses on the wall? All right, bear with me. I'm going to have to. Hold on.
Let me see.
Dang it.
Let me see.
Hold on.
Don't fall into the pool, bro.
I know, right?
To the pool.
All right, you see these seahorses? So I designed these for my grandfather. I drew these out just like this, by piece. And when he had a wet saw, and he asked me to do that, and I designed that. I drew that up. He showed me a picture that he wanted, and then he cut that out. So he has it all set up. I love the way they have this all set up out here. So it's a real nice spot. Go back so we can see the gator. I just think it's kind of cool. But, John, I know more like, okay, John, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But
we're what we have, John.
We're working with what we have, John. I probably should have brought the little light I have here. Mm-hmm. But it's just so dang cool. I love it here. It's one of my, again, just childhood memories. But back to the Dolphins. Again, the Dolphins have set themselves up in a sweet spot in regards of being completely flexible with anything. Again, and let me go back and show this shit so you guys kind of see it here. It's a kind of nice little spot here, man. I can't wait to let my grandparents know how everybody just liked the Katina. So anyway, look, you're absolutely right, Alex. And again, when I say flexible, again, I said it earlier, they don't have to do a damn thing in regards to the Vikings. They don't have to overreach. They don't have to overpay. They don't have to be desperate. They have to wait for the Vikings to say, okay, look, we'll go ahead and take that third-round pick. We'll take the third-round pick, or we'll go ahead and take next year's second-round pick. And then you're golden. Or the Dolphins can say, okay, at 51, Jahmyr Gibbs falls to them, or Zach Charbonnet out of UCLA. They could go that route. They could wait till 84. They could wait till 197. They're completely flexible to do that. It's like a she and a man cave had a baby. Oh my gosh. So
it's true. It's like a fancy bachelor pad. Man's cave.
Oh, if I lived here, I'd be doing the show from here all the time. If I had a place if I had something like this, I'd be doing the show here all the time.
Work from there, do the show from there.
This would be. I would call this the Fins Talk Sports Network hideout or some shit.
Gazebo.
But the gazebo, yeah. Or Katina, since that's the fancy name.
The Cantina. The Fins Talk Sports Network Cantina.
FTSN Katina. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that's all possible. And again, the Dolphins could not do a damn thing, and they could go into next season with what they have now. And guess what? I know a lot of people, are we getting cooked? That's the question. I wouldn't sleep on it. Carlos, thank you for tuning in, man. Yeah, again, like I was saying, I wouldn't sleep on it. The Dolphins have set themselves up for that type of deal. Bobby, we can't wait to draft tight end. Listen, again, I think 51 or 84, the tight end is one of the deepest positions in the draft. Okay? And La Catina this
That's awesome. That's actually the perfect title.
There you go, John.
That's coming through on the clutch.
Again, you think about the dream, right? If you're talking tight ends, let's talk about it. The dream at 51 is Darnell Washington. I've been pounding the table for him before anybody started mentioning him. Love to have. I wanted him, but he probably is going round one. Sam Laporta out of Iowa. Cameron Latou out of Alabama. Brenton Strange out of Penn State. There's more of these guys. What I'm saying is that you're looking for a tight end who can not only catch, but can block. Okay, we're not looking for a sole pass catcher. We don't need that. It didn't work. That was Mike Gesicki.
Smith got a nice little extension today.
Smythe, yeah, he got a good. He did. Yes, he did. He's here now, and that's another thing. We say we need a tight end, but the Dolphins have set this up because they also got the guy out of Denver. Okay, they also got the guy out of Denver that could block and catch. I mean, it's not a sexy name or nothing like that, but they got him. that Miami, again, could say, okay, we're okay with what we have. They could BS and say, we're okay. But no, we know they need another tight end. They need a better tight end. But they have been completely flexible that they could just go into the draft not having to force their hand. Let the draft play itself out. Get it to 51. Get best player available, whether that is tight end, running back, maybe defensive tackle, because you need someone behind Wekron Davis. We'll see. Trade down. Tight end class is decent.
That's not a bad option either. That's not a bad option either.
From 51 or 84, I would trade down. I'm totally down with that. And that's what Hank was bringing up earlier today.
And one of the things, Bob, that what's amazing to me is the fact that, once again, what the key part to me was Dalvin Cook expressed interest in wanting to play for Miami. Obviously, he's a local product.
He is.
People want to come to play for Miami Dolphins, and that's a big change in culture. A couple of years ago, no one really wanted to come down here. Obviously, you got Miami, you got the beach, but a lot of people didn't want to come here, especially for the football. People would just want to come down because it's Miami. So it's a refreshing feeling to once again kind of be the position that we're in right now. We haven't been in this position. I want to say probably since the 80s. The offensive firepower that we have, the way the team is set up, the way the identity, people are starting to fear the Dolphins again. And that's something that we haven't felt since like the 90s defense, early 2000s defense, when we were intimidating and the whole league feared us. But now it's a refreshing feeling to kind of be there in that pedestal again. And hopefully, we're set up for the long term, like we talked about it. And we don't have that much debt money on our cap. We have, I think, like the fewest. So Chris Greer has done a good job in that regards too. So we're flexible all throughout, which is amazing.
Yes, and I just want to say, Cap, you're absolutely right. Cook is okay. Yeah, I get it. He's all right, but he's always injured late in the season. I know it's a running joke, but that's players that Greer likes because he could get them cheaper than most. But my preference would be Derrick Henry. Okay, if the Dolphins could have figured that out, I'm all aboard of that. But I think Cook is the one that they're eyeing, but I don't think they're sleeping on any of the draft running backs. And I do believe Miami is keeping their eye on Jahmyr Gibbs. If you see him fall into the second day, into round 2, do not be surprised if the Dolphins trade into the top 5 of day 2 of the draft, round 2, and get Jahmyr Gibbs.
And what's funny? One of the things that I want to see play out also on draft night, I want to see where Eckler ends up, because I believe he's going to be involved in probably a draft day deal.
If you told me between Dalvin Cook, again, 1A is Derrick Henry, but he's off the table. Yeah, Tennessee says we're keeping him. Dalvin Cook is the name that's being thrown out in Miami. Hometown boy, everything else. And he's a sexy name for people who know football. Austin Eckler would be the best option. But what John said about Cook, which I think it wouldn't cost you that much draft capital, to be honest with you. And I don't know about cap, but capital, I don't think so. But I think it would. That does relate to Austin Eckler. It's going to cost too much in capital and too much in cap. Now, I'm all aboard, John. I'm all aboard with Jahmyr Gibbs. All aboard with that guy. If we could get him, he can catch, can run. Alvin Kamara type running back, maybe Austin Eckler type of talent as well. I'm all for it. Again,
I think deal. So
not on a rookie deal. So, and Miami has set themselves up where they could trade up or let the draft play out. They could be completely flexible. So, man, Steve is in the house. Happy to see Steve. Let me make sure we're talking tight end, we're talking draft, and man, we're only a few days away. We're only a couple weeks. We're a few weeks away. A couple weeks away from the NFL draft, and just to be exciting. Any predictions for players who could actually fall to 51? What's up, Brett? Man, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, Zach Charbonnet, John. That's another one I talked about him. He's an option at 51. I think he could be there. Who could fall to 51? That's something we've been talking about. Okay, first off, it's going to be interesting. Okay, well, who could fall in the draft? Let's start with that. All right, so first off, we're talking Brian Breesy, the defensive lineman out of Clemson. That's one guy. Another guy is, surprisingly, is Will Levis. I do believe Will Levis is going to fall in round 1. I don't know if he's going to fall into round 2, but I do believe he's going to take an Aaron Rodgers-esque fall. Brady Quinn-esque. Well, that's long. That was only 10 picks. Thank you, Cam Cameron. 10 picks, but I think he's going to take a fall. Who could fall? I don't think Darnell Washington's going to fall, like John is saying. I think the media and the fans are starting to catch up with what the talent of that kid that he offers in football. In regards of tight ends, I think Sam Laporta could be there at 51. Tucker Kraft could be there at 51. Running backs, we said Zach Charbonnet. Jahmyr Gibbs, again, that's another name that I'm seeing, and that looks like he could possibly be there. But how patient will Miami be if their eyes are truly on Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama? How patient are they, or trusting that he's going to be there at 51? I think if he falls into the, again, top 5 of the second round, or if he starts going into those 40s, I would not be surprised if Miami traded up and grabbed him. They love Alabama players. Jahmyr Gibbs, Cameron Latou, tight end. Another player of interest for Miami. Let me just read them down very quick, because these are names that I look at it and I go, I hate to go and look at all these guys' possible options. They're all Alabama. But Tyler Steen, offensive tackle. Emil Akire, offensive lineman, guard. Of course, Jahmyr Gibbs, Cameron Latou, Byron Young, defensive tackle. There's a lot of good prospects coming out of Alabama this year that could fit the Dolphins team. Well, there you go. For tomorrow on Real Talk Fins Talk, Barry Cunningham will be a guest on Real Talk tomorrow. So that's something there you go. So don't forget to tune into there. That's Steve Malloy, host of Real Talk Fins Talk. They keep it real. Again, like here, of course, we talk about everything else, but on there, no topic is off limits. Steve, he's not afraid to show his emotions. Rob is more pro, kind of let's stay positive. Where Steve is more like,
Well, I got a personal one before we go
Yeah.
to anybody. How long, or not how long? How much do you think Jalen Carter falls in the first round? Is it one of those like Laramie Tunsil situations where he could drop?
Yeah. No,
and just keep dropping?
No, I don't think he'll fall any two. I'd be shocked. First off, I think as soon as 5 comes along, I think he could be coming off the board. You got the Seahawks. I can't see him passing Chicago. I can't see him going past Chicago.
The way they're rebuilding. No.
Yeah.
He's a
let me see
Cowboys
here.
fan.
Carl Brooks is a defensive lineman, defensive tackle. That's another option for the Dolphins. Let's see here. He's a Cowboys fan. Oh, okay. Well, I read that post. I did see something on him from Barry. Barry's a good dude. I've seen some of his stuff. He says he's a Cowboys fan because of this guy, or he's a Dolphin. Which there's a lot of guys like that. But hey, he's successful. It'd be very cool to see him on Real Talk. We'll tune in and once he confirms his availability, tune in and hey, let him know what you think. Steve's all about that. Not tomorrow, next week. Okay, cool. That's so next week. Sorry, but Steve's all about that. Steve, just like us. The thing about Real Fins Talk Sports Network is we want you in the comments.
Absolutely.
We want you to disagree with us if you disagree, or ask us questions, or prop us up. We want you to do that because we want to interact with you. You guys, people, everyone tune in. You're just as important to us as the contributors. You are part of the Fins Talk Sports Network. So tune in and give them hell. Nothing wrong with a Cowboys fan. That's Josh Wingate. Yeah. That's our Cowboys fan, dude. He's in Fins Talk Sports Network.
Our resident. Fan.
Yeah. He's cool, dude. He has a good show. He has a great show dropping tomorrow. I'm gonna put the promo. Yes, you want to talk about draft? They're gonna be talking draft tomorrow. They got a great guest, Matt from Draft Nerds, will be on there. He's doing the recording tonight, and then he's gonna pop it out tomorrow for everybody to tune in. So. If you haven't yet, smash that like and subscribe button, hit the alert, and tune in to Beer and Sports. Let's see. Bears love big tight ends. They're at 9. Could take Washington. They could shock everybody and take Darnell Washington.
I think we got some cancellation there, bro.
Oh, no. Oh, well, that blows. That's all right. That happens. Is it because I asked for his last Josh, is it because of Josh, is it because I asked for his last name? Did he cancel out because I asked for his last name? That's low. No, I'm just kidding. That's all right. It happens.
Ain't nothing right with them either.
That's John, brother.
Dude,
John
I feel Cowboys fans are gonna be like us years. Well, kind of like us. Cowboys really haven't done anything since the Jimmy Johnson era. And you're like it's kind of like us with the Don Shula in the Marino era. So it's kind of like in that same process. We're on the same little
Absolutely.
boat.
We
We're getting
are
to
on
shore.
December.
They're still
We're
rolling, bro.
almost
They're
there.
Still in the middle. They're still in the middle of the sea. Yeah.
Oh, so let's go ahead. So next topic I want to talk about, and we'll stay on Dolphins. You got any questions, comments, whatever? Put them in the chat, and we'll go ahead and if we don't see them at first, we will follow up before the end of the show. But before we move, I want to talk about LSU and Angel Reese and the Catlin. What's he say? Oh, I didn't see that. So
Dak, no yak.
Alex.
Yes.
Miami Heat.
Uh-huh.
Miami Heat. Catch us up, man. What's going on with the Miami Heat?
Well, Bob, we're in the stretch run now. Spo actually did something out of necessity, which I believe will be the norm forward. He brought Kevin Love off the bench, so Bam had to miss a game. I think he had like a thigh bruise or a back bruise. I forgot what it was. So he started Cody Zeller, and Cody Zeller absolutely bowled out with Jimmy. And it's funny because I forgot who put that. I think someone put a clip today. I think it's Jeff Trilly and Brady Hawk commented on it. And I was reading it's like the two-man game of Butler and Bam, when it works, it's unstoppable. And them off the pick and roll. And I don't know. I've wondered about the Butler and Bam relationship. They seem to have a decent relationship. Their on-court chemistry has always been solid. But this year, everything has taken a regression. Like, I feel, I'm not going to say talent is the issue this year. There's a disconnect with this team. And in basketball, like in any other sport, especially in basketball, you need instant chemistry because basketball is probably the only sport, kind of like hockey, where the ball or the puck is moving constantly. So you need constant chemistry at all times. And there's something been off with this team. And we're in the stretch run. We're trying to avoid the play-in, but most likely it will be the play-in. You know me, I always go for the win. But at times you don't even mind if we're built for the playoffs. But at times you're like, are we wasting our time? Like, why did it take so long to figure out our rotation to kind of like complement? Obviously, we knew with Kevin Love, the defense was going to regress a little bit. They've had to adjust so much that our defense dropped from like first in efficiency in the league to like last. So they're kind of tinkering with things. Spo doesn't want to remove Martin from his reserve role. He likes him in that role because he can be like Jimmy Butler when he's not on the court. So I do expect Love to come off the bench with Lowry, which could be an interesting second unit. I'm not going to lie. And I believe Robinson's going to get playing time too. So like I said, the only plus thing of this season is that we're healthy going into the postseason, which is it's actually good for a change because for the last couple of years, we've been banged up going into deep playoff runs. So we'll see if we just make it in and play. If now, when we do get in, I know there's not a team that wants to play us in a 7-game series. That I know for sure. Because it's going to get real. And Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy, is going to get real, even as it is now. So, we'll see.
So,
we'll see where it takes us.
Let me ask you this very quick, and we'll move on. If Miami Heat, just like the Dolphins, have a lot of talent on the roster where they should be making a run or shouldn't be struggling this bad or this type, like you said, figuring out rotations. Like they're obviously, if you're trying to still figure out rotations this late in the season, you have a fundamental issue with your roster. So, let's say Miami either misses the play-in or they make the play-in and get eliminated. What happens after that? If you are running the Miami Heat, give me a quick 1-2 punch. What are you doing after that? Are you saying, okay, no, we need to blow this up? Do we trade one of our young pieces and go and build around Jimmy? Do we trade Jimmy and try to add more young pieces around the young Bam and Tyler? What's your fix for this roster right now?
Well, honestly, that all depends on what the star players want to do. If there's a situation that Jimmy has got, which I doubt, there's also, obviously, you're going to explore upgrading your team, which the most movable piece, honestly, being Tyler Hero. And Tyler Hero, for example, for the whole year, his fourth quarter numbers are astronomical. Like, they're off the charts. Like, his efficiency and the way he's playing in the fourth quarter, his defense has improved. So I can make you an argument where we have 3 solid star players, with obviously one being above in time frame. Jimmy Butler, Bam kind of coming up. Tyler Hero's still very young. That you can build around the right place because we got 3 players averaging 20 points. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be successful when we have 3 diverse players, multi-use players. But at the same time, you're going to look to upgrade your roster. So we know Pat Riley. We know that this organization, honestly, this year feels like one of those, like Pat Riley hasn't talked all year. So one of the things that they were even mentioning, one of the things that I'm looking forward to is actually hearing from Pat Riley. Because I feel like this has been a year where he's kind of like removed himself from the conversation to let it play out. So you don't know if he's waiting to do a move, if he's already like basically showing them like, you see, we need to do something, or obviously telling Jimmy, we understand we overpaid for Kyle Lowry. He had very little consistency. It'll create a shot at 1-on-1. Yeah, that's even the scenario that I talked to Clutch about. Jaden Brown will probably be on the move this year. This is going to be an interesting offseason because you got to have some players, kind of like last year. We didn't expect Durant to request a trade. We didn't expect Donovan Mitchell to be available. And the Batman all the time, you need to try to find a great Batman for him. Look, I understand Jimmy Butler offensively alone is not in the caliber of certain players in the league, certain marquee players, but Jimmy Butler overall has probably been the most efficient player in the NBA for the last three weeks, a month in total, or definitely top 5. So you can win Jimmy. You can win with Jimmy as your number 1, but you need to have your roster in place, just like we have with balance. Honestly, this year, what has been the situation is the 4 through 12, the fill it out of the rotation. Players have regressed, and that's very rare. I still can't explain
you said regress, and I was just going to ask you about regression.
Yeah.
What's going on with Bam Adebayo? Why are we seeing what's the mystery there? And, is that an option? I mean, did he be patient with him? And they say, or what's going on? What's up with Bam?
Yeah, they're not going to trade Bam. I don't foresee that. But for some reason, I can't seem to understand why when Jimmy Butler becomes extra aggressive Jimmy Butler, all of a sudden Bam has a regression offensively. Because we saw when Bam was a focal point, he can create for his team. His team can play offense through him. And like I mentioned before, one of the most versatile points of Bam is he's point Bam. And when Kyle's not there, which with the rotation now, Bam can get away with creating more with Gabe Vincent at the point guard. So his game has picked up a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if it had to do with the addition of Kevin Love and the defensive adjustments that they had to do, because we've talked about Bam, but it's funny. Bam is still averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds. So it's kind of like a quiet double-double average since the All-Star break, because he hasn't been on a tear like he was before. But I'm hoping they find the right combo before the playoffs start, because then you get into the conversation. I understand the Duncan contract should finally be movable this offseason. Yeah, for sure. The most movable contract this offseason will be Lowry because it's an expiring deal. So you're looking at probably taking into – there's so many scenarios where, like, Kyrie Irving in Dallas, we've talked about D'Angelo Russell in L.A. I'm just throwing names out there where you're going to be a cap team. So you're going to move an expiring deal, and you're going to take on years and more money in return. If you're going to move Duncan, you still have to give up capital, first-round pick, unless he's just a throw-in to a bigger deal. But you're going to have to take back a player of a similar contract. And if you can trade them, use them. My thing is, my goal this year is, you've seen, Bob, how we develop players. And I do believe that we have rotational players in Bougier, in the development, in the G League, in Kane, and Jovic, our rookie this year. So I hope that part of the lesson this year is, like, we don't have to resign all these players when they become contract eligible, extension eligible, kind of like what we did with Duncan. So I would not be surprised if if Max is not re-signed, if Gabe Vincent is not re-signed, or if they're part of a sign-and trade for a Dame Lillard. So there's a lot of scenarios that could play out. I just want to see how the season finishes. And honestly, I don't believe, no matter how much of a deep playoff run we do, I do believe changes are coming no matter what. So it's not going to be here and there. We can go on advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's not going to change the organization's mind. We saw the flaws. We saw what we need to work on. So the fact that we're healthy is good, but there's still going to be changes this offseason. Maybe not major, but it could be a few surprising ones.
Changes incoming for Miami Heat, according to Alex. So there you go. All right. As we move on here, let us stick to basketball very quick, and let's talk about some noise that was made with Miss Angel Reese sparked a social media firestorm with her taunting of Caitlin Clark. Alex, man, I could give my point, but very quick, your point. Is this justified, the heat that she got from this, or is this a double standard? Because Caitlin was doing the same thing to a lot of her opponents. And actually, the round before that, the game before that, she did that. Is that justified, man, the heat that she got? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were just lost for words.
No.
I was like, damn, Alex, it ain't that deep.
It's an absolutely double standard. And unfortunately, is due to the climate of the way our situation in the country is.
Jamila there?
Huh? Yeah,
is Jamila here? Hi, Jamila. Tell her I said hi. Tell her hello.
They're probably saying hi. I don't think she wants to say on camera. She's just waving from afar. Yeah, she's just waving. She's just there. She's a little camera shy. No, but I do believe it's an absolutely double standard, and it's unfortunate because it's a race issue. It really is, and it's the optics because you have an Anglo woman doing the same taunting, which in basketball we understand. There's a certain level of you can't take. This happens in baseball too. Us Latinos, we play baseball differently. The American people play the game of baseball in a well-mannered way with the unwritten rules. They don't play as much as I wouldn't say colorful reaction. So
we're all American. It's Anglo.
Oh, she's correcting me. We're all American. It's Anglo. Thank you.
All right, that's Jamila.
The thing is, with what really bothers me,
that's awesome,
is that it's how you interpret these things. You have a white girl doing that. It's celebrated. She's she's very determined. She's not she's just not over her head. But then you have an African American girl doing it, and all of a sudden now it's like, oh, she's disrespectful. You're doing the same exact thing as basketball. It's not really taunting. It's playful taunting because you have the.
Well, she did it. I'm sure Reese saw her do the same. Saw her do it. And she said, "All right, well, back at you. This is what you did. Now I'm doing it back to you. What's the?" And I got the ring. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong
at all.
Yeah,
at all. No. But the problem is how we're living. Everything is an issue, and everything. People, we were even talking about it. Some of our players they're super sensitive. Like we're not used to these players getting offended. Oh, this is her right hand.
Hey. Oh, that's the hand. That's the working hand.
That's the working hand. Yeah, that's the working hand.
I love you, Jamila.
But it bothers me because I coach basketball. You see the game in a different mindset than a regular fan, and it just sucks that a player can't express himself. And if they express themselves, they're treated differently based on the color of their skin. And because of the optics, it's like, oh, she's provoking, she's instigating. No, she did the same exact thing. Just imagine if she was white. You wouldn't say anything. Just like you didn't say anything because it literally happened in the game like 5 minutes before. So those to me are the things that really bother me. There's no necessity for that. If you are going to criticize someone for an action, make sure you criticize any other player of any other race for that same action. You just don't criticize or make an example out of someone or ridicule someone. Because remember, people don't see this. People just talk about this. This comes at a time where right now, the situation in our country, any little thing can sway you either way. Retaliation, abuse, violence. You can send a message in a positive way, but you could also send a message in a negative way. So all this negative press she's getting, now they're going to start dissecting her life, who she is, her bad actions, what she's done, blah, 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 for no reason. Just like the same way. Just let competitors be competitors. Leave it on the court. That's it.
Yeah, my thing, when I saw that, I thought it was cool. I thought it was funny. You know, and I didn't take it no bad way. It's not like she jumped in her face and started shit talking her. She did the same thing back at her that she did that Caitlin did to them. And there's nothing wrong with that for Caitlin either. Be prideful. Be proud of her. You are a great player, just like Reese is. Both very good young players who, and you know what? I think it's good for the sport of women's basketball to have those, I don't want to say characters, but that type of personalities. That draws attention to the game. So, but not the bad attention. And you know, this whole, I agree with you, it's a double standard. And it couldn't be on purpose, but you could see the differences right away. When she did it, It was all over. Oh, what a badass, this, and this, Caitlyn. As soon as Reese did it, everybody started talking down on her and everything else. So it is a double standard. I'm actually happy for her. I like the swagger. I like the energy. And I love the attention it's bringing to women's basketball. You know, that is deserved. That is deserved. What are you?
And it's so funny because it literally happened.
We talked about that
in front of our
Anthony.
eyes. It literally happened in front of our eyes where we had the same situation play out, and we had
you can't deny it. How can you deny it?
You can't
how
hide
can you?
behind this.
If you're on the other side, how can you argue that? You know what I mean? And we used to call that gamemanship. That's right. There's sportsmanship, you know. But to me, you know, it's you're in the game. Don't tell me you never talked trash to your opponent before, and you don't know what they were saying during the game. You don't know what was going back and forth during the game. You don't know what Caitlyn was saying, or vice versa. It's competition.
But it's just the optics, like what we're saying. We're not here questioning the action of one person. We are comparing two people that had the same action. Like, she didn't insult anybody.
It's not like Caitlyn was going around. Yeah, it wasn't like Caitlyn was going around and shaking hands and saying, you know, throughout the whole season, the tournament, being all nice. But no, she did the same thing and then when this girl returned the favor.
This is true, right here. And he was a white man, white boy, and people still feared him, and people talk trash with him. There's
backed it up.
What I love about this, and I believe it's unfortunate that it's not, but sports, religion, politics, everything should be colorblind. You should not differentiate anything, just the action. Talk about the action. What sucks is that this right now gives voice to what we have been saying for a very long time. No matter what, there is bias in sport. There's bias in anything you do in life. And you saw it firsthand, and you cannot deny it. It's plain and simple. Just own up to it. Whoever has criticized her for that, explain
it's
why
true,
you
John.
criticized her.
John's not wrong. It's a polarized world. It's absolutely.
And it sucks because now everything is you're either here or you're
here. You
can't be in the middle.
We can't
agree that it was the same action. It was the same action, bro. That's it. Leave it there.
No, period. But there's also you can't agree to disagree anymore. You know, that's the bigger problem. You know, it's like I agree to disagree. All right, let's move on. Let's break bread, whatever.
No,
it's
not existing.
Oh, you don't agree with me? Fuck you. I did that, and that's it. You know, and it's
then you start insulting. Like, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing? That's an unfortunate look. It's an unfortunate part of our culture. It's a very unfortunate, but it's that. If someone doesn't agree with us,
that's true, Roger. He backed it up. That's true.
Yeah, man. And
Larry Bird was a killer, man.
Larry Bird balled with the best of them, and he was still balled with the best of them.
He would, dude. Would you think Larry Bird? What do you think if he was in today's NBA? You think he'd kill it?
Oh, he'd kill it. Obviously, there's more physicality. There's stronger players, but Larry Bird is still talent. You know.
But back then, but there's more rules now. Just like in football, that protects players.
Absolutely.
I mean, all right, let's continue going. Anthony brought this up earlier. We had it on the docket. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Walt Disney buying.
Once again,
Endeavor.
I didn't think about it until you said it.
So there we go.
Look at that face.
WWE. Endeavor has purchased. Endeavor is the one who owns UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship. Has bought WWE. They control 51% interest of the WWE, while the WWE shareholders own 49%. Vince McMahon had this to say to his employees: "I'm excited to announce that WWE has entered into a partnership with Endeavor to create a one-of-a-kind company that will bring together two global sports and entertainment powerhouses, WWE and UFC. The historic alliance of these two formidable institutions has the potential to unlock vast growth opportunities for both organizations and generate an optimal outcome for our employees, shareholders, and fans, and other stakeholders. We are huge admirers of the work Endeavor has done to grow the UFC brand, and they will be perfect partners to help supercharge our growth at WWE." So I don't know if you guys can see this, but here's kind of how it's playing out for WWE and Vince McMahon and Endeavor. Endeavor has formed a $21 billion global pure play live sports and entertainment company comprised of UFC and WWE. The name hasn't been released yet. UFC, which is owned by Endeavor, and WWE will form a new company. The new company is owned 51% by Endeavor, 49% owned by WWE shareholders. McMahon is still the executive chairman of the new company. I forgot what this other guy's name was. Whatever his name is, Emmanuel something, I believe. Forgive me if I'm butchering. You guys probably have it in there. But he's going to be the head honcho. Board of directors comprised of 11 seats total. 6 seats nominated by Endeavor, 5 seats nominated by the WWE. McMahon has also said, if you're a WWE fan, when they asked him, are you going to be a part of creative? He said yes and no. Yes, he will be in an executive role, kind of, I guess, leading it. But in regards of just writing the stories and being really deep in it, he's not going to. So take that with a grain of salt. Alex, when you found this news out, and I know you really want to talk more about the mustache, but when you found this news out, what were your thoughts on, I would say UFC, but it's really Endeavor, who owns UFC, merged with the WWE. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, my first thought was, I produce No Holds Bar, so I was automatically thinking of Alex, Alfred, and all that when they were talking about, and Ryan, when they were talking about possibly Saudi Arabia buying WWE, and the content, how it would change, the rights. So it's refreshing that it will stay, kind of like an in-state product. Then I just started wondering, I'm like, why would WWE sell itself? Obviously, it's probably selling itself to one of the highest bidders. It's a moneymaker. Vince McMahon is a power grab for Vince, honestly, because he was out. I don't know if this was the only way back in, but WWE kind of felt like there was a rebirth with Triple H being in charge of creating content, Stephanie McMahon being co-CEO. So I don't know if this is, I don't want to say it's a revenge plot, but I never thought WWE would sell itself to anybody. Obviously, he's going to still be part of the board, so he's still part of integral of his company. Like most mergers do, like you become part, like chairman of the board, whatnot. But honestly, the possibility of cross matches with UFC fighters and WWE, maybe even cross pay-per-views, that's intriguing. I don't know if that's going to be. I don't know what plans they have down the road, but it's definitely a moneymaker. So I think it's a great deal due to the fact that they stay in state, so we don't risk any losing content to other countries or whatnot.
Before I touch on the vid stuff, because Anthony had one in the comments as well, and what you kind of alluded to, but now it's definitely a sports and entertainment company. UFC being the sport, WWE being the entertainment. But Vince McMahon, yes, it was a power play to get back in. He was voted out. He left, quote unquote, retired from WWE with all the allegations that went down. His daughter became co-chairman with Nick Khan. Triple H, Paul Levesque became creative control. He's in charge of creative. And like you said, there was a new rebirth of energy, more excitement. And guess what? The storylines, Roman Reigns, who retained the title last night, I mean, was a lot of fun, dude. I mean, he finally found his character, and he was the storyline. Sami Zayn, that storyline. There's a lot of good things to come from it. Now, he I don't want to say conned his way. It is his company, okay? But he got himself back in there. He still owned the majority share, so he was able to get back in there. He said, I need to be a part of the sale. I will not agree to a sale unless I am involved in the sale. They tried to stop him. He got in there anyway. He fired a few people so he could get room on the board for him and some allies. It's kind of like a WWE storyline from what I was reading. Okay, he got himself in there, and he said, I am prepared to relinquish myself from WWE once I get it sold. But what happened? It doesn't. He ended up staying. He is the owner, Endeavor, I'm forgetting the guy's name, had said he would not let Vince come out. Vince is now the executive chairman. According to CNBC, Bobby doesn't know if he's chairman. Wait, that's what I was just talking about. WWE owns 49% of the shares. Anthony brought it up a little earlier. We had this screenshot there, brother. Mm-hmm. So he's still very much involved. He is now the executive chairman, which he is the chairman of the board for WWE, but now the executive chairman of Endeavor with this, or the new company with Endeavor. So they're going to create a brand new company between the two of them. And it's going to be a couple. Why does he do it, though? Why would he sell WWE? Why not give it to his children? Why would he not, or with some money? Well, why did George Lucas sell Star Wars? He sold it for $4 billion to Disney.
Money. Yeah.
It's money. You know what? You're getting older. It's your baby. You hate to see it go. The only difference between Star Wars and WWE is that Vince McMahon is still a part of the WWE. He still has his fingerprints on his baby, except now he has sold the majority of it to a new company. Now it's not it's McMahon's. He created it, but now he's kind of taking a step back. And when he dies, the day he dies, well, that might be the end of a McMahon running the WWE. It's not going to just easily go. It's not going to Stephanie McMahon anymore. It's not going to Shane McMahon. It might not even go to Paul Levesque. It's going to go to whoever they vote to be the new chairman of the WWE.
You set it at its highest point. You set it at its highest point, and you max it out. And I'm pretty sure they're going to try to somehow take out AEW. They're going to somehow try to take out all the competition, which is still funny. I want to see what they do together, promotional wise.
That's what WWE should have done. When they bought WCW, they should have turned it into two separate. And they realized their mistake because then they created SmackDown and Raw brand split. They should have made WCW a separate company or two companies, the same company, but split it up like two different companies with two separate managements. But McMahon runs everything, except he was too damn nearsighted. Let me tell you, I love listening to I believe his name's Conrad Thompson, but he has a podcast network with all the old school wrestlers. I mean, Arn Anderson, Jim Ross, Ric Flair. Oh crap, what's this guy's name? I can't believe I'm forgetting it. He's the writer. Oh, damn it. Brother Love. If somebody can find out who Brother Love is. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, Brother Love, and I'll probably remember as soon as the show's over. But he talks. He's one of the creative writers for WWE, and just listening to his backstories of how the decisions were made, what happened to this guy and that guy, but the way he discussed the brands when WWE bought WCW and Conrad was coming at him pretty hard. I love listening to that stuff. No, not Jim Cornette. Brother Love. Type in Brother Love into Google. And I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember his name, and his brother is Doctor. Well, his brother is Bruce Pritchard. Tom Pritchard is Dr. Tom Pritchard. He trains wrestlers. Bruce Pritchard is the other guy. So there you go. Bruce Pritchard. If you have a chance, Alex, even now, when you're in the car, type in something to wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, and you click, but you could click on different pieces, and they have like
snippets,
and you can listen to 15 minutes of Tom Pritchard is his brother. It's Bruce Pritchard. But you can listen to different snippets of what's going on. Like when Steve Austin left WWE because when they didn't want to lose to Brock Lesnar. Or not that he didn't want to lose, but there was no storyline. But he goes into the weeds. But it was a DDP topic. And they were talking about why when DDP came from WCW to WWE, did they put him in the stalker role with the Undertaker's wife, Sarah? When he took the mask off and they made him into a stalker, why not keep him the DDP you knew in WCW?
Exactly. Maximize him, man.
And Pritchard was like, oh, and this is a few years old, but I got mad the other day. I was listening to it. I actually wrote a comment on this old ass episode, but I didn't care. But he was like, oh, because he didn't get over with our fans. Nobody wanted to see that DDP.
That's bullshit.
That's what I said. I was like, what the hell are you talking about, dude?
I honestly thought they were gonna keep this feud. Like when they bought a company, like when you merge a company, I thought that they were gonna create this feud that WCW guys stick together and they're always mad at WWE and they kind of always go against each other. I thought they were gonna do that and branch. They couldn't bring Hogan. They couldn't bring Hogan. They couldn't bring National Hall because they were still under contract with whatever it was at that time. They were with TNT, TBS, whatever their mothership is. I'm trying to remember the CNN, Time Warner. They had Time Warner,
contracts with not with WCW. So when WWE bought WCW, they got the contracts of the lower tier guys. You know, they got not lower tier. I don't mean to say it, but like DDP, guys who were contracted to WCW. But the ones who got the major contracts, Scott Steiner, Hogan, Nash, Hall, those guys. That's why they weren't there during the invasion. The invasion storyline would have been huge if they would have got those guys.
You see?
But they didn't. But you had Diamond Dallas Page. You had Booker T, and you could say, oh, but look at Booker T. Booker T succeed. But at first, if you go watch back at Booker T when he first came to WWE, you guys treated him as a joke.
Yeah.
He got over on himself, not because you did anything better for him. Diamond Dallas Page was over in WCW.
He mismanaged talent a lot. Since he was the only one out there, he mismanaged talent a lot.
But no, I think it was bias. I think it was, I didn't create DDP. I didn't create Booker T. And when I was listening to Bruce Pritchard, that's what I got from that. And that's why that's where WWE failed at that point. They failed at a couple things, and they succeeded a lot, obviously. But what they failed for sure was that part right there. You could have had a true global phenomena if you would have treated that the right way. And of course, that's hearsay now.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
And Anthony, I think the executive chairman position is given to Vince as a figurehead position. Look, Endeavor. Vince McMahon did not have to sell the company to Endeavor if it was going to be a figurehead position. McMahon has power. I truly do not believe it's here, McMahon, now he's happy. We're going to cut him out after. No, he has it. He got the money and he's still involved. That's what he wanted. That's what I believe, Anthony. I know what you're trying. I know what you're saying, but I don't think that is the case. But anyway, yeah. Well, yeah. And right now, it says 9 viewers on YouTube, but you got Facebook, you got Twitch, you got Twitter.
Yeah.
Everyone tuning in, thank you so much. Smash that like and subscribe button. John's absolutely right. We thank everybody for watching. We're about at the hour. I'm here at my grandparents. Looks like I'm on vacation. I'm not. I'm visiting my grandparents. And I want to give a shout out to Ralphie boy back home at the hospital right now. He's not feeling too well. Send him my love. I love you. God bless you. I'm thinking about you. If you're tuning in, maybe you're not right now, but if you watch it later, I know he loves watching this show because he loves us.
He never misses.
He never misses. So he'll watch it afterwards. He says it's his favorite show because of us, and he loves listening to the backstories, the growing up stories and stuff. So if you guys,
this is funny. This is funny, Bobby. I never thought about this. Them watching us now as grown-ups, talking about our childhood memories while they witnessed it firsthand. That must be a really cool reflective moment as a parent.
Absolutely. They laugh about it now, where probably drove them crazy growing up. But yeah, if you guys do me a favor, if however you do it, if please say your prayers, send your thoughts and prayers to Ralph and my grandpa as well. And I appreciate you. So, the Katina with the margarita. I'm gonna look it up, dude. I'm seriously. I don't know if Tati's gonna let me, but I'm gonna see if I can buy something like this for my house. So. I don't know. I love it. I don't know if Tati's gonna let me,
but I might show up with it one day.
Yeah, I don't give a damn. I'll do it.
I can't return it. I lost it.
I can't. It's too late. I don't know where it is. I don't know. They're in witness protection.
I bought it in off-road.
That's right. Oh man, but anyway. Kat, let's answer the question once. Who is better talented overall, Triple H or Chris Greer? Oh, don't do it to me. Triple H. Easy. Yeah. And if you're gonna say like in their brands, right? Well, football in their industry, I have to say, even though Chris Greer has hit, you guys think Javon Holland, Jalen Phillips, there's something that's, but Triple H, you see what he's been able to do with the talent that he's been able. Vince McMahon throws away a lot of talent. Triple H brought some of these guys back, and they are on the scene blowing it up.
But I gotta give it to Paul about that we've always talked about this, and I'm pretty sure Triple H has his guys, his scouts too, and people in his head and talking to him. We always mention this. Chris Greer gets the heat sometimes, and he gets the credit, rightfully so. But remember what we talked about when it first came to fruition. Reggie McKenzie, Marvin Allen, they have a solid front office here, talent-wise. Talent evaluation is one of the most strongest parts that we have. So when we had those, when we signed McKenzie and Allen, we knew there was something solid there. Even a blind.
Oh, John, dude, we got to get John. And I know Cap's been a couple. I want to get you guys on one of our East 10th Street boys, so we could just talk shit, have fun, have a blast.
Tell us your childhood stories.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
That's what
I'm sure. I'm sure those dudes got a couple good ones, man. Oh man, talk about wrestling, dude. I mean, and we've touched on this a little bit, but my son's really into it right now. His favorite wrestler is Rey Mysterio. He hates Roman Reigns. He used to like
That's
Roman Reigns.
cool, bro. That is
Oh,
cool. The old
have
guy.
you seen him with his mask? Have you seen him with his mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, we wrestle now. You know, like I have to go back to my old tricks to we wrestle again. You know who touched base, and I have to send him the video. But Davey,
Holy shit.
on Instagram, when I posted the picture of Tristan,
Davey
told him. Davey goes, "Tell him D Platinum wants to step in one time." And I said, "Oh yeah." And I actually showed Tristan the video of me and Davey wrestling back in the day, and awesome. You know, so he goes, "Yeah, 2 out of 3 falls." He remembered it all, so it was really cool, dude. And I was talking, I thought you had gotten a haircut, but you do have that Roman Reigns look going on for you.
Yeah. I still got my point. Yeah. It's Miami weather. We're getting really hot down here, so I cut everything on the sides off the back. I still kept my ponytail, but it's refreshing. A refreshing look.
Yeah. Let's see here. Make sure. I'll come on if
Evan sings Guantanamera. Oh, for sure. For sure. We can get Evan to sing Guantanamera.
Evan will do it. He's a team player, dude.
He'll man. I love Evan.
Evan will do it, dude. Alex, you know, usually run over, we got words of the day and stuff like that. We can turn back the clock. But I think we're pretty good. Do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to touch on before we close this out?
No, man. No, actually, today was like a more reflective 10th Street Boys. It kind of the tone was a little bit differently. We're in a little reflective point of our lives. Family time. It comes with territory. That's the beauty of life. It's not always all laughing and sunshines and rainbows. There's hard days. There's family troubles at times. There's health. There's age catching up to you, and it's very important now that you're there sharing time with your grandparents. It's something that I've always taken to heart since I was very little. And you got to appreciate every day that you have. You got to take advantage of the time that you always have. Share with the people you love. Tell them that you love them. And sometimes you're having bad days. I have horrible days at times. You have horrible days. But you look forward to the next day and spending it with those that you love, spending the time, talking to the people that, appreciate you when they come to you. It's always fulfilling to be able to do this because it's funny. Like for us is expressing. And for our fans, for our followers, for people that subscribe and listen to us, it's also reflecting because in a random day, you can hear something from someone that makes sense to you that day and changes your perspective of something or brightens up your day, gives you a good ending to your day. So we always are in the mood, obviously, to entertain. And the cool thing about us is that it's genuine. And this is who we are. Like, you're not going to find anybody different in the street. You're going to find the same person that you see on here. And it's cool to share it with you. And it's, you're closer to home. So my love to your people there. You're about like a 3-hour drive away. So I might,
get in the car right now, bro.
I'll just drive up and hang out.
Yeah. Let's go to the beach tomorrow.
But I'm good.
Who needs a job, man? Don't have to pay no bills. Have Jamila work extra hours, bro. What's up?
Bills?
What bill? Oh man, yeah, I'm here until Wednesday, and I fly back out. That's the plan, We'll see how it goes, but yeah, the plan is I'm here till I'm gonna be spent tomorrow here. Got a couple things to do for my grandparents, and I can't, I don't want to say I can't wait to go home. I can't wait really because. When I'm away from it sounds like, oh, it's, I don't have to be around the kids and all that. No, dude, that's my crazy, that's my zone is being around my children, So I do miss them like crazy. I miss Tristan and then Audrey and I miss them.
And you can tell Tatia has her hands full because she didn't watch the show today. she's not. She's cussed me, not cussed me, but text me through phone. The American kids are crazy, It was like, well, I'm not there. I'm swimming in the pool, I'm doing a show.
I'm doing a show
in, hold on, in
the cantina with the margarita.
With margarita.
The cantina with the margarita.
She's gonna ask you, like, who's Margarita?
She's down here. You can't see her right now.
Hey, Margarita, say hi to Tati.
But anyway, can't talk right
I was
now.
a ghost from St. Augustine, bro. She has a mouthful.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm gonna go in the house. My grandma's probably watching because it's at her house. Probably go.
Is she like,
Who's Margarita?
this is what
I
you're
didn't-
doing, Bob?
I
This
didn't
is
think
what
it was
you're doing?
funny.
Yeah.
Love you,
And your
Grandma.
grandpa is still looking at me like you're still talking to Alex right now. What are you,
I
14?
I know, yeah. I told Grandpa. I said when I first came in the house, I said, "Hey, Grandpa, how you doing?" You know, I tapped him on his knee because how you doing? He goes, "Fuck you." I went, "Oh." He goes, "Hi, Bobby." So I told him, I said, "I'm here with you till Wednesday." He said, "What?
Like, oh,
You're here till
great.
Wednesday?" Yeah, he's like, "Till Wednesday." I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh hell!" And then I told him, I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna do the show from here." I said, "So I'm gonna sit here and do it with you. I'm gonna have it on here so people could see you." He goes, "The fuck you whore." I said, "Okay." All right.
I'll go outside.
I told him, I go, "Yeah, let's talk Dolphins." He's not a fan of the Dolphins. He likes to pick on me a lot. I go, "Let's talk Dolphins." He goes, "You don't want me to talk about the Dolphins?" So I was like, "Okay." So
It's like for people out there, if you can imagine a grumpy old American grandfather sitting in his rocking chair, it is exactly who's Bobby's grandfather is.
you know,
He's the coolest. Jamila says the guy from Up, the grandfather from Up.
the grandfather. Oh yeah, except he's bald. But no, he's
bald,
like
yeah.
I always say, you know, you ever seen that '70s show, Red?
Yeah.
He reminds me of Red. He reminds me of Red.
Is Red, bro. Yes.
He's my
Red.
grandparents are one of a kind. My grandfather's one of a
Yeah.
kind, dude. It's a, you know, I love him to death. I love
And it's
my
funny because
grandparents.
your grandmother's like the polar opposite. I think deep down inside she's the same way, but she disguises it very politely. You know, Christian woman, very nice, very soft spoken. You can tell she has character, but she's the complete opposite of your grandpa. Your grandpa would just tell you to fuck off out of nowhere. Like I'll never forget. We were like 14 years old, and I was staying over there in Melbourne with you for like a weekend. I remember Knocked Up had just come out, and we were dying to see it because we love Seth Rogen and all that. And we tell him like, well, I'm not gonna say what he told us, but he straight up was like, "What? You guys are gonna go watch the movie Knocked Up? Shouldn't you be knocking girls up, you guys? What are you guys, losers?" He said other selective things towards us that I won't mention for the sake of, you know, the climate in our country. But it was fun.
He's like that, dude.
That
And
was
that's the
funny,
thing. He's awesome, you know. And but yeah, so that's why I'm enjoying myself here. And but yeah, so
Grandpa Simpson, that's true.
yeah.
And you can tell he loves you, but he's one of those grandpas that's never going to tell you he loves you. Like, he'll just show it to you, like, just by looking at you.
Yeah.
Him telling you to go fuck yourself is basically, I love you. Which
Yeah.
is weird. But
If he ignores you, that's when you should be worried. If he doesn't
Yes,
acknowledge you, that's
exactly.
when you should be worried.
if he doesn't
F
make
you-
fun of you, you're not part of the family.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're, he'll ignore you, you know.
I miss those grandpas nowadays. Like, those grandpas nowadays can't exist. Like, can you imagine having woke grandparents about everything?
We will.
Like,
we'll have like
politically correct grandparents about everything? You can't do that. Grandparents
probably
have to be-
30 or 40 years. You will. Now there's a guy I'd like
That's
to
true.
meet and have a beer. There, yes, he is. He's definitely a guy you want to
Yes,
sit down.
funny stories. And
Navy veteran,
he's literally built everything
That's
that
right.
Bobby's sitting under. He's built everything there.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You know, he's special, man. He's a special guy.
I still love
I
your
love
grandmother's
him.
story. Remember when he took your grandmother's toaster and took the motor out? And
No,
built
he's the dude. Like, if you have an issue, if you had an issue with something, you know, about fixing, yeah, right. And if you have an issue with something, like even the thing that you don't think that somebody should be able to, he will figure it out. He will do it. You know, he's taught me a lot of. He's taught me a lot of things about growing up in life. You know, again, I remember when he first said. I've heard a couple times, but I've heard him when he said when I was growing up here, when I stayed here for a couple of years, I heard him say to a couple of people, "Don't ever get between me and my wife. Don't ever get between me and my wife." He told people that straight up. He says, "You will lose," and he's lived by that. And you know, I'll get into the stories, but I've seen it, and I hold it to this. That's the same way I am with my marriage. You know, no one gets between my wife and I. You know, he's a one of a kind dude, man. So much love to my grandpa, who I will see in a minute, who's in his chair. And I hope he's not watching because he'll be, "Fuck you talking about me?"
Yeah. It's a horrible show, Bob. You suck.
I guess you're sleeping on the
you here?
streets tonight. Like, oh, I'm sorry, Grandpa.
Why are you here, bro? Go home.
Why are you? Go back home, bro. Sorry,
No one
Grandpa.
wants you, bro.
Firstborn grandson. That don't mean shit here, boy. No, just kidding.
Yeah. You know, Harrison had to say that a few times. Like, no one wants you, bro. Like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, what? What?
Yeah, Harrison. I'm your favorite, right, group? No.
No, you're not. You're not, buddy. You're not.
Sorry.
And Nikki's just
You're
singing.
God. Nick.
I love you, Nick. I love you, bro.
Yes. Much love to
miss
everybody, man. So I told Alex to say his last minute goodbyes or his final touches. What'd Jamila say?
I kept it Cuban. She says that Nick is a real Bobby. For those out there, out of all the brothers,
I can't.
Nikki has the closest resemblance to Bobby. So when they were younger, they looked almost identical at a certain part. So,
Nikki, yeah, well, I don't know. All I know is that a few people told me this week when Nick and I were together, all of us, they said, especially with this salt and pepper, I'm the most handsome brother, so I'm taking that shit to the grave.
You got the clean look. Okay, absolutely.
Fuck yeah, I know I am.
Absolutely.
I'm in shape. Oh, I don't need to be in shape. I'm a married man of 10 plus years with 3 kids.
I'm in shape too.
Yeah, exactly. I got no shame in my game. I fucking love the way I look. I gotta exercise. Look at my 6-pack. Ooh, what do you freaking do for you? How's your life? Are you happy? No. Well,
look at my 6-pack.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah, I got 6-pack of blubber. Shit, damn.
Oh,
just remember, croqueta is not a long game.
That's funny. Oh
Yeah.
my god! Bro, that's an awesome game. I can make a parody of like Cubans playing croquet and just name it croqueta.
Have you seen Nikki's Instagram videos? Now that I'm saying about it.
Nikki's Instagram? No, I don't have. I mean, I have the company's Instagram, but I don't have Nikki as a friend. I gotta add him.
That's fucked up, Alex. You don't have Nick as
Sorry.
a friend?
I'm sorry.
It's kind of a dick move.
I don't think I have you as a friend.
Has Jamila? No, I don't think so either. Has Jamila?
No. Jamila, do you have Nikki as a friend on Instagram? Hold on, live reaction.
I think so.
She thinks so, but no, she hasn't shown me.
Listen to her voice. That
You
guys,
heard her,
we
right?
don't know. That's Jamila's
That's
voice.
Jamila, yeah, that's my wife. That's my wife. That voice I hear, that lovely voice I hear.
It's croquet.
Oh, it's croquet. It's still funny though. Like, can you imagine Cubans playing croquet? And like, oh, what are you playing? We're playing croquet, bro. Let's go. Come on. It's your turn.
Yeah, but
It's not.
it says croqueta. Why
It's
did she say
hilarious.
croquet? Why is she saying croquet?
No,
It says
because remember,
croqueta.
what I said was it would be funny to do a parody where we have Cubans playing the game of croquet. The one that looks like a hammer, and you just hit the ball
I got
between
you.
the
Except it's
horseshoe, like the
croquetas.
reverse horseshoe. But it's croqueta. So I'm gonna do that in Hialeah. I'm gonna put that.
So
Which,
what
by
I'm
the
saying-
way, Bob.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see. No, nothing on the Nikki front. Never mind. Go,
Okay.
continue.
No reason why. If you have it, you need to, and maybe she.
You wanted me to show you now?
Yeah, that was part of it. That's why I asked her, have you seen it? So maybe you can show it to me and I can talk to Bobby about it. Hold on. Go ahead and take it.
You're gonna see her hand come back in. That's the only thing you're gonna see from Jamila. No, but I was gonna say was the reason why I say that is because he's starting to release these sketches, and he's doing these funny little sketches. He actually did one where Elvis versus Michael Jackson, and he's doing this whole thing. He's dressed as Elvis and he's dressed as Michael Jackson, and it's actually there's some things that are actually kind of funny. But this one's hilarious. But I sent him a message on there, and then I put it as a comment. But I said this is more like Elvis versus Corey Feldman, more than Michael. But if you guys don't know, my brothers, you type in Nick Voss on either Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. He's a musician. He's an entertainer. But yeah, he's starting to release those videos, and I just thought it was hilarious. You need to tune him in.
Yeah,
but you know, did I tell you the story about how he got the name Voss?
No, you did not. But before you tell me,
Yeah.
I do want to say Nikki is one of the most talented, if not the most talented person I know when it comes to versatility. He's kind of like our version of Jamie Foxx, and I think it'll be super fun. One thing that would be super fun, and we always talked about this, if he could have like a variety show where on the cruise, I don't know if they'll do it. I don't know if he can propose that to the cruise director, the entertainment director. He could have a little variety show.
If they show him those videos, he did one where he goes
man.
back in time. He goes back in time and tells Elvis how he's gonna die.
Shit, bro.
He goes back in time. Yeah, he goes back in time. He hits the time machine. He goes back in time and he tells Elvis, you know, I got to tell you how you die. And Elvis goes, well, how do I die? And he goes, and he regrets telling why he's going to tell him. He goes, ninjas. So that's why Elvis went and did karate. Some kind of little thing, but it's actually quite creative. So yeah, go check out Nick Voss, man. If you don't know how he looks, it's a way thinner, beardless version of me, and then you'll know who that is.
It's literally the same person. It's just like before and after, like before marriage, before kids.
Healthy. That's me.
Yeah, We kind of lost him there after the first meeting. We never saw him again.
That's right.
Now it's him. But you were gonna tell us a story about how he got boss.
Oh yeah, he had a sketch on there, or like a tell-all on how he got Nick Voss. And I don't want to give away anything, but I'm going to read that, John, in just a second. But he has a where he says how he grew up, and people from Hialeah Elementary saw that he loved Elvis, and he would perform as Elvis in the talent shows, and they used to call him El Voss.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny this for his sake. Man, that sounds like some Nicky story.
I love him, dude.
Story, bro.
I went like this. I went.
My man looked at a bottle of water, Voss water.
Yeah. And I remember, and I want to get when you get him on the show, we're going to talk about it. But I remember when I told him,
we got to get him. We got to pressure him.
Because I understand stage names, but back then when I found out, I was like, "Oh, you're getting a stage name." I was kind of like, "Why, dude? Why are you doing it?" And he's like, "No, Voss." I go, "What does it mean?" He goes, "It means dark abyss." And that's why he picked Voss. But now all of a sudden, it's because people call him El Voss. It's like, you fucker. It's like, come on, man. But anyway, I love you, Nick. But we need a Vince Talk game panel night. Game panel night, cool. Like the old Newlywed Game. You and the wives answer questions from a moderator and nominate Cap for Life to host.
That's funny. That's fun. That's really cool.
Yeah, I would be down with that. It's just we have to find something for Jamila to wear because she don't want to show her face.
Yeah, she doesn't want to. Actually, hold on. Hey, would you do one up? We were talking about it right now. I'm gonna do it live.
Okay.
We're one of our listeners. He's recommending that we do like a Finstock game panel night, like the Newlyweds game. Would you be cool with that?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna be on camera.
Okay, she won't be on camera. It'll just be like neck down, which is fun.
That's the best view. That is the best view.
It's the best view.
For Jamila. I love you, Jamila.
Best view, man. Just
tell her I said that. Let her know.
Perfect. Yeah, Bobby says he loves you.
Say that.
I'll draw a face on her shirt, like
eyes right here.
Big ass eyes. Big ass eyes.
You're like, whoa! It's like, wow. Why is she so surprised? Why is she so surprised?
Oh man! Pupils.
Turn the temperature way down now. Let's get it cold in there.
I read this completely wrong. That NAA, I really read something else. 3 rounds. I was gonna put an L there. I was like, whoa! What type of game plan?
What the hell's wrong with John, man? John's going off, dude. What the hell?
That's a fun idea, man. Thank you, John. That's
that is a great idea. We got to figure something out. That would be fun.
It's cool. Like in this show, you're gonna see a lot of guys from the network, hopefully, and some of our listeners where they just talk about the childhood, share stories, how we met, how we grew up, and it's cool because you kind of like peel the curtain a little bit back and you kind of see how we are,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Girls want to have all their faces blacked out. That's actually funny.
I like that. If we can figure that out, I could probably do an overlay of 2 black boxes, and the wives have to keep their heads. Do not move. Do not move.
Or like it could be like the masked wife. All the wife have to wear mask, and then we just do that. That'd be cool. Oh, okay. She's down for that. You see? There we go.
Yeah, there you go. She'll wear a mask.
Now we just gotta convince Taco.
A family-safe mask, family-friendly mask, not one of your
family-friendly mask.
Not one of your midnight masks, Alex.
Not Phantom of the Opera.
Not the gag. We don't want that.
50 Shades of Adia.
I'd be quite impressed if you got the gag thing and she could complete full sentences. It's like, damn. Whoa. That's right. Oh, that's awesome. Avita. Awesome, I mean, silhouette. There you go. Absolutely. So anyway, that was the Cuban goodbye. We were about to. We were going to say goodbye about 20 minutes ago, and we went off.
That's typical.
That's exactly how it went. That is how it goes. So anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget, tomorrow it's Tuesday. We got Real Talk Fins Talk at 7:30 Eastern, followed by the Fins Bandwagon at 8 o'clock Eastern. Smash that like and subscribe button. We will see you next week. Boop, boop, boop. Ooh. Just make it very awkward for you. Never mind. Later, guys. Good night. Oh,
John,
yeah,
you
wicked.
definitely write questions.
Oh, John, that'd be
John
perfect.
has great ideas today, man. I love you, John.
And he's just on a freaking roll. I think, yeah, John's awesome. All right, guys, later.
He's out.